With how people are remembering those 15 seconds that changed the Bay Area forever. Wilson?
Yeah, really, just a landmark moment for this region. I will go ahead and start. I was a teenager. I was in North Carolina. I was sitting down in my living room. My father was just over my right shoulder. We were there to watch the World Series, and we all know what happened next.
I'll tell you what, we're having an
Me and my 3 sons and husband were all in the upper deck. All of a sudden, we started feeling the tremor. We looked up and we saw parts of the candlestick start to shake.
30 years later, in the Bay Area landscape no longer includes some of the locations that served as the main stages for life and death drama that evening.
I had just driven through this intersection, right where the Cypress structure had collapsed about 10 minutes after I drove through.
For Ken Perry, the Cypress structure disaster unfolded right outside his workplace, and it went on for weeks.
In fact, Dan Rather came and wanted to get up on top of the roof to take pictures, and the boss told him, "Nope, sorry, you can't get up there."
I was in Berkeley working at Whole Earth Access when the quake came, and it was a big warehouse building, and all of a sudden it was like you were surfing on these concrete floors. It was really kind of scary. But nobody panicked. It was a huge department store. We all got out safe.
So I came in 1989 from Jordan. All the liquor come down, all the wine, everybody screaming, my friend, no electric. And everybody was scaring, And everybody from Jordan, come back. It's like, I'm here. It's okay, we're fine.
I'm a dentist, and it was unbelievable. It started shaking, and my patient had a rubber dam on and just jerked it off and started running down the stairs.
I headed to the doorway, grabbed both the kids and said, we have to stay here. And I could hear things rattling in the house and wondering how many things were going to break.
So this anniversary is a day for everyone to retell stories from October '89. And then there are those who live and work right next to reminders every day of the year. You ever think about it when you come back through here and you see the park? And
Yeah, I do. I think that I was lucky that I got through when I did.
And there you have it, folks. Talk about the anniversary. I'm sure many of you will remember this clock kind of frozen in time for a while after the earthquake. And here we are 30 years later, talking to folks around the Bay Area today about where they were, what they were doing. One, I was surprised at how many people were still working, especially with the ball game just kicking off, or maybe home at the game. That, of course, has been much discussed as a reason the highways weren't as crowded as they could have been. A fortunate event. One gentleman told me he was on the BART train that happened to be under the bay, came out on the other side. They had to, walk out of the tube, but landed over in the West Oakland area. And when they got out, people told them that the bridge had collapsed, and they didn't believe it. They thought the whole thing was some sort of confusion or maybe a joke. So, for as many people that were here, you will find as many stories about what happened that day. We were live in San Francisco. Wilson Walker, KPIX 5.
I remember well. I was 3 years into my first TV job. We were watching the game, so it froze in time. Wilson, thanks so much. Got a live look now at Abbott Square in Santa Cruz for you. A moment of silence going to be held to mark the time that the quake struck. That moment of silence happening right now. Let's pause with them. It was, as we've said, 5:04. Santa Cruz, only 20 miles southwest of the quake's epicenter. 3 people died there, more than 30 buildings damaged beyond repair, including 5 that had withstood the Great Quake of 1906.